Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. All right. It is President's Day, Monday over here. And it is also Lundi Gras. So we got tons of things to celebrate today, tons of things to talk about. But one of the things that I wanted to make sure that I came on here and discuss today. Oh my gosh. So actually I got a little bit of story for y'all. Okay. So again, it's Coach Brandi Nik. We're in our Dollar Growth Club community meetings. And so if you're a part of this group, you will be able to come on and ask questions, talk a little bit, like engage in the conversation, hop on our Zoom call if you wanted to talk about these very important things that we discuss every day about different wellness subjects. So today we are doing physical wellness Mondays, and we are specifically talking about 10 hygiene tips, personal hygiene tips when you are traveling. So let me tell you my story so that you understand a little bit about why I even wanted to get into this. So, as y'all know, we have in my company, right, I have a division called World of Wellness Retreats. And so with the World of Wellness Retreats, what I do is me and a team of coaches, we go and we bring people, mostly Americans or people from the Americas, to other countries, right, or other locations that are kind of remote and distant, and we introduce to them certain wellness concepts. And so they're either going to be in one of the 8 dimensions of wellness, so either in the physical wellness dimension, or intellectual, emotional, mental health, environmental, financial wellness, occupational wellness, social, or spiritual. And so I just recently came off of a retreat, and something happened that made me want to talk to you all specifically about how you can make sure that you're remaining safe when you go to different countries in terms of your own personal hygiene, and also how you can protect yourself from becoming sick while you are out there. This is one of everyone's worst nightmares, is to go to another country, be somewhere very distant, and then get sick and ruin your experience, especially when you've invested money into that experience. And so my my story goes that I had a group of people who were on this amazing retreat that I was hosting. And so while we're there, we're having the time of our lives. It's a social wellness focused retreat, and we're, just getting to know each other, really bonding, really working on connecting with one another, which is what that retreat was all about. And so, one by one, I started noticing that people are starting to feel ill. And I'm like, okay, something's going on. Everybody's saying the same thing. Everybody's like, yeah, something that I ate. I had shrimp yesterday, or, I had some yogurt yesterday, or I had whatever. And everybody's trying to rationalize what is exactly that is causing their particular illness. And so I started looking around, and I'm like, wait, hold up now. He got sick, and then he got sick, and then she got sick, and then and then I got it. Right. And so I was thinking, like, how do, one, we get better? How do we get better? And it was a gut thing, right? So it was a stomach bug sort of situation. And so, for those of you who have ever gotten a stomach bug, you already know it is no fun whatsoever. It's like one of those things where you really are incapacitated for a little bit. So I came up with 10 tips, and they're not all mine. I can't take credit for all of them, but I can just say, like, these are the 10 things that I live by. And so I'm going to go ahead and suggest them for you to use them as tools. So get your pen and your paper out if you're going on a future retreat with us. We've got some coming up. Go on our website, worldofwellnessretreats.com, specifically for the retreats, to see what it is that we're offering. We're going to Panama, and we're going to Mexico, South Africa, Argentina, right? Like different places and exploring different wellness dimensions. So anyway, if you plan on coming to one of our trips, or if you are just plan on going on vacation with somebody else, get your pen, your pad, because this is going to help you. So tip number one. Okay, tip number one is to wash your hands. Now, all of us remember that when we were going through the throes and the bellows of the COVID-19 pandemic, there were a couple of things that were introduced to us that, I'm gonna be real with you, we didn't always know that we could do these things and then avoid getting sick, right? That knowledge was not necessarily commonplace. I'm sure, like if you're in the medical field and all that, you're like, yeah, we've been known that we, got to wash our hands all the time. We got to wash our hands, all of them seconds and sing the happy birthday song and all that stuff. And it's like, I didn't know that, right? Washing underneath your fingertips and all of that stuff, just getting all up in it. Like everybody didn't always know that, right? Hand sanitizers. I haven't used that much hand sanitizer in my entire life. And now it's a part of my normal routine, but always with some lotion because, them hands be getting ashy and that ain't cute. So So let's start with wash your hands. Okay. So when are you going to wash your hands? So you're going to wash your hands with antibacterial soap and water. That's what you're going to go for first. You're just going to wash your hands and you're going to sing the happy birthday song. So I think it's like 20 or 30 seconds or something in your head. Happy, and not Stevie Wonder. You ain't got to be jamming out for minutes. Just happy birthday to you. Washing happy birthday underneath the nails. Happy birthday, da 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 da. Happy birthday. And then look, you also getting in the wrist a little bit. Happy da 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 da. And then warm water, washing them off and going about your merry way. Okay, if you're gonna wipe your hands, you want to make sure that you do it with something that cannot be carrying around a bunch of germs. So maybe don't use the same towel that everybody else is using to wash their hands off, because now you're back to square one with the bacteria. All right, so you want to wash your hands. You want to be hyper vigilant about it without being like, crazy with it. Don't be, don't be over the top, like, now you're germaphobe. So every single time you touch a doorknob, you got to go wash your hands, right? So that ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying before you go and eat, wash your hands. You were in an environment where you like, okay, looks like hygiene isn't, up to par. I'm gonna wash my hands a little bit, right? Like when I get back in from going outside, I'm gonna wash my hands. Right. So you have like these little key markers where, like you just came out from a whole day, wash your hands. Right. Okay. Because that you probably just accumulated some germs. Like, again, we don't want to be over the top with it, but we do want to be, cognizant of the fact that it is these germs that really like kick our royal asses. Okay. Out here. So wash them hands. That's number one. Number two, carry your antibacterial wipes. Okay. So when I'm in the airport, or, when I'm in my hotel, actually, right, I'm wiping down things. So you want to wipe down the doorknobs that you're touching. If you're going to be putting your bare bottom on the toilet seat, you want to be wiping down that toilet seat with some antibacterial wipes. You want to wipe down when you get onto the plane, you want to wipe down your seat with the wipes, right? Just no bacteria here. And even though they have a routine, it's still, it's still a good thing to do. And especially when you're not in the plane, because the sanitation practices outside of the plane are different than the sanitation practices inside of the plane. So you want to make sure that you got some antibacterial wipes. Some hand sanitizer, we kind of just talked about that. Use that hand sanitizer when you don't have access to soap and water. Sometimes it's not going to be the case where you're going to have that access. So you want to get that hand sanitizer. And the same thing, you want to get it everywhere where you would get your normal antibacterial soap and water. Just go ahead and squeeze some hand sanitizer, wipe that in, don't overdo it, and then put yourself some nice lotion on there so that you're not walking around ashy and your skin's not cracking. Okay. All right. Okay. Also, kind of like within this little thing of like things that you need to be doing, wear your mask. Wear your mask. Okay, so I know that this is a whole controversy, and I'm not saying this to be political. There's no political motivation or anything in this comment. What I'm saying is that if I'm on a plane, and especially when I'm in crowded places that are enclosed, I'm going to wear this mask. Why? I'm gonna tell you why right now. Because when I get on the plane, every single time, and I travel a lot, every single time that I'm on the plane, it's like at least two people who's just hacking up a lung, like like no, like they not covering up their mouth, they're not trying to sneeze or cough into their arm or anything. They're just letting it all flow. And all I can do with my little, limited scientific knowledge is see in my mind's eye, like all the little particles just spreading all around. And then I'm like, man, see, that's how we spread these sicknesses. And, and last thing I want is to be sick with something respiratory. So I make sure that I put my mask on when I'm in crowded places, or I have my mask just right next to me anytime that I'm like around any situation where somebody starts coughing and they can't stop. I'm just like, ooh, let me go get my mask. My mask is coming on. Aside from that, I try to walk around, and live my life without the mask so much. But if I'm in a situation where I'm like, listen, I got armor now that I wasn't aware of beforehand. So I'm gonna put it on because I didn't had COVID and I didn't had the flu and ain't none of it fun. So just put it on, just put it on to remain a little bit safe when you feel like you in harm's way. It's like wearing a bulletproof vest. You ain't always got to put it on, but you know what I'm saying? Like if you're going into a place where you might get shot up, I'm just saying. So anyway, travel hygiene, tip number 3. That last one was like 3 things in one, but 3, keep your nails cut and clean, keep them trimmed all the way down. Now listen, ladies and whoever, listen, if y'all like to wear them long ass nails, that's on you. But what I'm saying is that there's bacteria that get caught all up in it. So, it goes back to washing your hands. You want to make sure that you clean it all up in that you have. If you're going to have long nails, make sure that you've got impeccable hygiene underneath them nails. All right. Number 4, practice your spatial awareness. Don't be all up in somebody's, vicinity. And also, you don't know what kind of things that people are carrying on their skin. So you definitely don't want to be, if you can avoid it, skin to skin contact with people, because you just don't know. Yes, there are, monkeypox going around and all these other things. Like, there's a lot of things in the history of human existence. There have been always skin ailments that are contagious and, they are easily transferred by skin to skin contact. So you just want to be aware of that, right? And anyway, like get up off me a little bit, right? Like that's how, I don't know. I wouldn't raise like that. You just don't be all up on me, if there's a choice. But if there's not a choice, okay, because there's just a shit ton of people around, you can't get over it. That's all right. You in a crowded subway, that's all right. Okay, you're in the middle of the street in Mumbai, that's okay. All right, y'all get what I'm saying. All right, so the next tip that I have for you is to keep your face and your body clean. So I'm gonna tell you this, right? And this kind of goes with my next tip too. You don't want to touch things and then touch your face. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. Like, don't go around picking up things that's not yours with germs on it that you don't even know about, and then after that, go and touch your face without first sanitizing. Okay. Now, mind you, you could do this if you want to, right? I'm just putting it out there to say, like, these are tips so that you can ensure, right, that you have the best fighting chance to not get sick while you are out and about in new places, exploring new places with new germs and new bacteria. So this is something that you can do, right? Just keep your face and your body clean. Also, wash your face, wash your body, take baths, take care of yourself. So to think about all 3 of those things, keep your face and your body clean and don't touch objects and then just be putting stuff all up in your face, around your nose and your mouth, because that's how you get, the issues that I had. Okay, that's something you have. So avoid that. Don't be like me. All right. Okay. Next thing is bring bottled water. Now they have these bottled waters that have like water filters within them. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say to get you one of those, right? So I'm not going to sit up here and endorse any products, but please do a little Google search and look at the products that will work best for you. They have a little filter right there in the bottle. So that way, if you put some water in there, you like, oh, it needs a little extra help, then it can get the filter, and then you could be drinking filtered water, right? Just straight out of your bottle. This is really important because water filtration systems are not the same everywhere from country to country, right? And that sometimes not even from town to town. So you want to make sure that you are drinking clean water because one, you're a human, you need water to survive. And two, you don't want to be getting any pathogens by drinking bad water. Okay, point blank, period. It's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling, right? They normally come with vomiting and explosive diarrhea, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. I don't want it for you. So that's what you could do. Along that same lines, you want to wash your vegetables thoroughly. Like, I mean, get all up in that, make sure that you're washing it with clean water. Thorough wash of the vegetables, and then you can eat them. And when you're eating things, by the way, don't eat anything raw. Cook that. Cook it thoroughly. If you're eating meat, y'all know I don't eat meat, but if you're eating meat, cook that meat thoroughly. Cook them vegetables thoroughly, make sure that everything is washed and clean and, and prepared in a way that you can digest and that kills off any or washes off any pathogens that could be making their way into your intestines. Okay. All right. So then, I got two more tips for y'all, two more tips. So one of them is so my ninth tip for you is to use shower slippers when you're in shared shower spaces. So this is like if you're going to be in a hostel. Now, none of the retreats that I host or that any of my World of Wellness retreats coaches host have like a hostel environment. And I mean, not hostile, like hostile environment, like rough environment. I mean, the hostels, right? So these are kind of like these dormitory style, kind of hotelish spaces, a lot of low cost things like that, where they have to share spaces, share bathrooms, all that stuff. We don't currently have anything like that particularly. The spaces that we normally use are villas. They have like private, everybody has their own private shower, private bathrooms. So we don't have to worry about that. But if you are out there and you got to use a shared shower space and everybody's up in there, think about like your shared shower at the local gym, right? You wouldn't go into that hopefully with just your feet out, right? So you put some shower slippers on and go in there because you just don't know what kind of bacteria is lingering up in there. Now we had in the past have had spaces like this where it's like if there's like an outdoor shower that everybody has to use together, things like that. Not currently do we run programs like that, but in the past we have, and I'm like, yeah, please do, because anything could be lurking on them floors. Okay, I'm just saying, don't get no foot fungi. Okay, all right. And the last but not least travel tip that I have for you for your travel hygiene is to boil your water. Boil your water if you have any doubt that your water is not safe at all. If you're in a country or you're in an area where, you're just not completely sure, maybe you read somewhere that the water ain't safe, it ain't safe for you, boil it. Boil it before you drink it, boil it before you wash yourself, boil. And apparently like you're going to have this in more of your rural areas, to deal with some things like that. But sometimes even in your emerging economies and your first world countries, you may still have this if there's something going on with their water system. So if it's not safe, boil it. Don't even second guess yourself, because it can save you from weeks or months or even years of issues relating to your travel sickness, right? And so one of the top things that people go through is traveler's diarrhea. Okay. And so that's like, your body, you're being exposed to different bacteria that you're not used to. You're eating new things, you're being adventurous, you're doing all of that stuff. And then you pay the price for it, right? Normally it's going to be like maybe up to a week, possibly 2 weeks, right? And then some people continue to have some symptoms for like, months ahead. And for some people, there's like lifelong changes or chronic changes they have, that have happened as a result of that. So you want to make sure that you are really, really taking some notes and really practicing these travel hygiene tips. I know in the beginning, it's like, why I got to do all of that? But I'm telling you, this right here saves lives. Okay. All right. So I'll just go through the list one more time real quick in case you missed anything. So that way, you could enjoy yourself on your next trip. All right. So 1, wash your hands. 2, it's 3 of these things in 1. You want to carry the following: carry your antibacterial wipes, carry hand sanitizers and lotion, and carry your mask. Number 3, keep your nails cut and clean. Number 4, practice spatial awareness when in public places where there's a whole bunch of people. Number 5, keep your face and your body clean. Number 6, don't touch objects and then touch your face. That's nasty. Number 7, bring bottled water with a water purifier in the water bottle. Number 8, wash your veggies thoroughly and eat cooked foods to avoid bacterial infections. Number 9, use shower slippers in shared shower spaces. And number 10, if the water ain't safe, boil it before using it for anything at all. All right, y'all. Listen, stay safe on your journeys. If you have not already joined our Dollar Growth Club, join our private community so we continue to give you tips, we continue to engage you, we continue to help you become the best version that you can by growing happier, healthier, and wealthier with us. We've got all kinds of ways that we're doing this, and so we want to keep these conversations active. Also consider coming on a World of Wellness retreat with us. Like I said, we've got a couple going up in different wellness dimensions that we've got. The one that's coming up most recently, we've got a health, like a cleansing, healing retreat. So we've got one that's focusing on spiritual wellness, and we've got one that's focusing on healing your inner child trauma, right? And working on the shadow self. And so those are the 2 that are coming up. Both of those, and this is new to this year, both of those are going to be held in the United States. And so prior to this year, we've been going internationally, but these 2 that are introduced are going to be held in the US, and they are both considered power weekends. So they are 3 or 4 day trips that we are having to really, get the 1-2 punch, get the catalyst and the jump start for your new life in these different wellness dimensions. All right. So consider that. Consider joining the community. I want to continue helping you. All right. And that is it. Follow those tips. That's the homework. So if you're going somewhere, just try to use a couple of those. Even in your daily life, it can help by being a little bit more hygienic. All right. All right, y'all. Well, this was Physical Wellness Tuesdays. Dr. Ness was out today, so you just had me, but hopefully you got something from it, and I'll see you next week.